Hello, everybody. Mr. Finance here. That's my name. You should already know that. I'm like more popular than Kim Kardashian or something. No, I'm not. Just like you guys. Hey, today I'm gonna tell you guys how to be a millionaire for under $25,000. You understand? Under 20. This is like a sale. It's like Black Friday in here. It's a sale. All right. Now here's how you do it, right? You could do a number of investments, right? But you would have to continually put in money, 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 money. I'm going to tell you an investment that you do. It's a little trick. Become a millionaire real quick. Not real quick, couple years. Especially if you're a young person. If you're like in your 20s, you just turned 20, you get your hand on 25 grand or save. If you watch my channel, I tell you how to save with roommates, renting, all this stuff. My channel is not for you to say, hey man, get a Roth IRA. Now, don't get it twisted. Roth IRA is a good thing, but it's 30 years from now, okay? I gotta buy stuff today. I don't know about you. You're gonna buy your next shirt in 30 years. You're not a snazzy dresser. You could wait 30 years for a sandwich or something. Hey man, knock yourself out, but I can't. And this channel is for people who want their money now. All right, so let's get into it. Business Insider quoted Zillow as stating the median price for a home is around $226,000, right? Something like that. I don't know. Now, a multifamily home is a little bit more, but let's just go with the 226. If you got 226, 3.5% down at 7,000, then a quarter of what? 3.5 after that's 1.75, which is like 17, which is like 8 and change, and I don't know. Let's say $9,000, right? $9,000 for a house. Then you're going to talk about closing costs. Closing costs, I believe they can't exceed 6% the value of the home. Usually they're like 2 to 3% or something like that. So let's say collectively you need like 15 grand to get yourself into a house in any town, USA. I bump it up a little bit because you may want to be paying off some of this. You may go to your real estate broker. Don't ever use a bank. Nobody tells you that, because I don't know if these guys are really buying houses on here. It's YouTube. You could tell a story, or maybe they're using banks and that's why they need $1 million credit score. Go to a mortgage broker. A mortgage broker is going to get you the loan. They deal with a bazillion different banks. Maybe some bank in a dark alleyway or something, but you can get a loan on your house. Just make sure it's a 30-year loan. Don't do the 15s. We'll go over that in another video. Make sure it's not adjustable rate. If they still have those loans, I'm pretty sure they do. Somebody out there somewhere said it's okay. But you have an little extra money to pay down. Also, you have to pay for these home inspections, because when you're out looking at these homes, you're like, oh man, I love that home, right? Then you say, well, I want to buy it. So now you have to get a home inspector. You got to pay a home inspector to come and check out the home. He might be like, hey man, I know you love the home, but it's full of termites, or it's full of mold, or the foundation's cracked, or, he sees water leaking in the basement, or the place is sinking because it's on top of a swamp or something. I don't know. But you're going to have to pay for home inspection. So while you're looking for a house, when I'm looking for a house, man, I would say before I get a house, I would say I do 10 home inspections, right? They cost me, I think the guy charges me like $500. So I may spend, he gives me a little discount, especially if it's like 2 or 3 or something. If I'm buying a house, I may get close to about $5 grand just in home, but that's me. That's me. That's Mr. Finance. That's because I'm buying multifamilies. I'm looking for certain things, certain repairs I don't care to make. I'm very picky. You don't have to be that picky. Half the stuff I say I'm no to, you guys would be like, oh, I'll get it or whatever. I'm like super picky and I'm looking for certain things. Anyway, but that's what the cushion's for, because your mortgage broker may say, you know what, I need you to pay this off. I need you to pay this credit card off. You defaulted on this. I need you to settle with this account. I'll show you how to settle these accounts and do all this crap. Okay? So that's why you need the extra buffer. And you're going to get a multi-family house. You're not going to get a single family home. You're going to get a multi-family, right? Now, all these people are like, I have a multi-family house, right? They're not telling you, you got to get your multi-family house somewhere where they're renting out multi-family homes, okay? You can't get a multi-family in the middle of nowhere, because guess what? Nobody's going to rent this thing. Nobody tells you that, right? What you want to do is get it at a city, right? What is a city, okay? A city, it's usually densely populated, so it's kind of populated. But what are the things that I look for in a city, right? Because you may have cities next to each other and be like, well, what city do I want? Mass transportation, okay? We want to deal with mass transportation. Safe. You don't want a city where you walk outside, they steal your purse, and while you're chasing the other person, somebody shoots you down. You don't want anything like that. You understand? You want a nice multifamily in a city, not high crime. High crime is people getting shot and killed. If there's killing going on there, do not get a home there. Also, mass transportation nearby. Safety, mass transportation, and you also want to go on Craigslist and check out what the place is renting for. Also, go to your housing authority. Your housing authority has something called Section 8, right? Section 8, I believe it's available everywhere. Section 8 is what they'll pay for a home if you get a Section 8 person. So Section 8 says, hey, you know what? We'll pay $1,000 for a home, and you need to rent out these places in order to turn a buck. You need to rent them out for $1,500. Guess what? That's not the town for you, right? So you want to look at what Craigslist says is the average price and what the housing authority. Now, if you find that perfect combination where you can have a home and Section 8 will pay good, Craigslist says it pays good, that means it's going to be rented out. Also, if you go on Craigslist and it's a million places for rent and they're way below, you don't want to rent there because it's a million places. But if you go on Craigslist and they only have 1 bedroom, some 2s, and 1 or 2, 3 bedrooms, that's the place you want to go, because 3 bedrooms, you don't have to compete with apartment complexes, because most apartment complexes only have 2 and 1 bedrooms. So if you have a 3 bedroom, let's say a 2 bedroom is, I don't know, let's say a 1 bedroom is $1,200 and a 2 bedroom is $1,500. You can charge $500 more. Now, they were just doing like 20% increments. You can charge like a 30% increment or even more for a 3 bedroom because they're a rare find. You understand? So these are the things, I guess, I really haven't heard anyone talking about this stuff. I don't know what the heck they're renting or how they're doing it. They may be using a realtor or something. I'm just telling you how you scope out an area. Buy a multifamily that's going to rent. And this is how you see what the rents are, because you could use like a calculator on Zillow. Zillow's also going to ask you for, what number is Zillow going to ask you for that you may not know? Zillow's going to ask you for insurance. I'm in Jersey. All insurance is expensive. For a single family house, I put in $1,000 a year. For a multi-family house, I put in $2,000. I know you guys probably don't live in an expensive place like us, and you may not have to worry about it. But if you put in those numbers, right, basically every 1,000 almost raises your mortgage about $100. So you could say for a single family, whatever the mortgage is with insurance, it's going to be about $100. With a multifamily, it's going to be $200. These are conservative figures, meaning when you go to the mortgage broker and stuff, these things will come in lower. Okay, so now you're saying, hey, Mr. Finance, I got my home. What do I do now? I'm not a millionaire. I'm actually poorer than I was because I spent 25 grand. So you owe me 25 grand. I'm going to come there and give you a wedgie or something. You're going to get your butt kicked or talk bad about you on Facebook. I don't know. Something crazy. Anyway, hold your horses. That's just the beginning. Now, you bought this multifamily. You got one under your belt, correct? These are some things you should know. If you get into a home and the taxes are kind of high, you can dispute that with the town or the county, what have you. Just go to City Hall and tell them, hey man, these taxes are high. I think it should be lower. So that could lower your payment down a little bit. Also, if you got a house and it has something called PMI, it's like insurance and stuff on the loan, right? And you could get your house within like a year or two to appraise higher, you can, oh my God, refinance the house. The word escaped me for a second. You could refinance the house and get this thing dropped off. So you could dispute the taxes, get it lowered. You could drop the PMI. These are certain things you do. Also, if you have a home and you got the home under FHA, you got to refinance out of FHA because you could only use that loan one time. What does that mean? You use the loan one time. Let's say you get a multifamily FHA loan. You want to leave that multifamily and get another home. You're going to have to put 20% down. Why do you have to put 20% down? Because you can only have one FHA loan. But if you refinance out of that FHA loan into something called a conventional loan, I'll go over this stuff in the future. So much stuff to go over. Just watch the channel, baby. I'm going to put out like 1 million videos. Okay? Tell you guys what to do. Right? You guys are going to be cool, rich, whatever rich people do. Get an airplane. Not a real one. A paper airplane, of course. But you're going to be all right. All right. So these are things that you could do to drop your monthly payment. Now you're like, I'm still not rich and I spent $25,000. What do I do? You have a multifamily home. It should be generating a little income. Now, if you want to squeeze even more income out of it, you're going to have to also live in this multifamily home at least for a year's time. If you want to squeeze more income out of it, take on some roommates, right? Charge these roommates 70%. Where's this number from? We got this number in college from my friend. Does it make any sense? I don't know. But that's the number we use. It's a safe number. It's attractive. When you pay like if you go somewhere and something's on sale for 10%, it ain't really gonna move you. 20%, 25%, kind of moving, interesting. A quarter off, 30%. Hey baby, sign me up. I need a glow in the dark hula hoop with music in it. It's 30% off. Can't let that go. You'll buy anything for 30% off. I'm telling you, happened to me, man. Bought all types of stuff for 30% off. But if you rent out to your roommates a room, right? You share the living room and all this other common areas in this apartment, right? For 30% off, you'll fill the rooms and it also will help you pay this mortgage and you'll be able to save up money, 20% of whatever you paid. You'll be able to save it within 3 years. Your numbers should work out where you can save 20% of a home by having 2 additional roommates for 3 years. And then you can go and get another home, okay? What people also don't discuss is you could kind of only have 3 or 4 mortgages before the bank says, hold on, cowboy. You got to pay one of these babies off, all right? That's why you don't want to get a house that's not making that much a year, or don't take on roommates and stuff because you're going to need capital. But by the time, if the average house, right, is like 225 and you get multifamilies and these are a little bit more expensive, 4 of them will make you what I call a baby millionaire. Now, what's a baby millionaire? A baby millionaire is a person who has $1 million worth of stuff before they sell to pay off their debts. That's the baby millionaire. A real millionaire, like I guess me and the guys that we're talking about, is we don't make $1 million a year, but we got $1 million. Like if we sold all of our stuff, we would have $1 million in our hands. I don't know what we would do with it. Maybe we'll go buy a hat or something, save it for 30 years. Because 30-year guys, they're buying stuff 30 years from now. So I at least have to have a hat for 30 years from now, But that's what a definition of a millionaire is. You have $1 million. After a baby millionaire has $1 million worth of stuff. That's what I call them. If you got $1 million worth of stuff, I'm not going to say, hey, turn my nose up. Hey, man, this guy only has $1 million worth of stuff. He's a nobody. I'm going to say, you're a baby millionaire. You got $1 million worth of stuff. The second wave of millionaire, actual millionaire, is you got $1 million worth of stuff after you sell everything. And then what I consider a real millionaire is you're making $1 million a year, even if you don't have $1 million worth of stuff. But just to say, hey man, I made $1 million. Even they tax you and you only have like 600,000. Like a millionaire to me is like just the real millionaire. You got $1 million worth of stuff. Anyway, that's how you become at least a baby millionaire, or maybe a millionaire, by getting your first multifamily house, saving on it by getting, renting out the rooms. I told you how to get the place and stuff and scout it out and make sure you get the maximum ROI on it. You understand? Having roommates and putting 20% down on a couple more properties. Now, can you get more than 4 properties and stuff? You probably could, but it might be tough. All this other stuff that if you're on your 4th property, trust me, you got a mortgage broker, and you're gonna figure it out. So we're not even gonna go over that stuff here. But that's it, man. I told you guys how to be a millionaire for $25,000, and you're gonna have change. You're gonna have all this money. Don't act like you don't know me, because you got all this money and stuff. Because we're family. Love you guys. Trying to just make everybody else a millionaire, but the easy way, not 30 years from now. Maybe like, it might take you 8 or 10 years, not 30 years. And we'll talk about the present value of money on another video that's about stuff like that. So you guys could even understand that $1 million 30 years from now is not what you think. It's not even worth $1 million. Like if you had $1 million 30, let's say, I don't know, there's a Ferrari that's $1 million. So you're like, all right, man, in 30 years, I'm going to have $1 million and I'm going to buy that Ferrari. No, because of inflation and stuff, a million years, 30 years from now, that Ferrari that's $1 million today, it's actually going to cost like $2.3 million in the future. And you're only going to have $1 million. So you're going to be shorted. Okay, but we'll get into that some other time. Like you guys, love you guys. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Tell everybody about me. Tell them Mr. Finance is more popular than like the most popular person in the world and stuff. And that's it, man. Come back. I'm giving you guys a lot of stuff. You got to watch the whole video. Don't be skipping around. You're missing stuff, man. You missed the part about me telling you guys the Craigslist thing and stuff. Don't miss anything. Watch the whole video. You ain't doing anything. All right. Love you guys. Until next time. Bye.